what's up, YouTube? How you doing? I'm your host of this channel, King Geo. Now, today I want to talk to you about woman predator. You see this lady up here? She's a teacher in Delray, Florida. And she had a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old student. In their relationship, she said that she got pregnant, but she doesn't say who the father is. And before I go any further, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit that subscribe button right there, that little bell right there. And that bell will let you know when I, King Geo, upload a video or I'm going to do a live or anything like that. So, let's get to it. So, this woman decides to have a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old. And the reason that I wanted to do this video is because we, a lot of times, focus on men predator. We focus on men who prey on our young children. We put our focus all in that, and we say, "Oh, this man's a pedophile. This person's a pedophile." But we don't look at a woman. We tend to say that it doesn't exist, just like there is domestic violence with women against men. You know, the reason men don't report it is because they feel ashamed that the woman is beating them or abusing them, whether it's verbally or physically. It does not matter, right? But I wanted to point this out because we, like I said before, we focus on men going after our kids, but we don't see these women, you know, these teachers. They're supposed to be professionals. Could be your neighbor, could be your relative that is a female relative that's having sex with your child, with your son, or your daughter, for that matter. But I'm talking about, I'm focusing on men with women with young boys, and these women who are old, they think that this is something that's to be cool. They think there's something, I don't know what is in their mind to think that I am 41 years old, like this lady. I'm 41 years old, and I'm going to have a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old. Right? In the 15-year-old's mind, that's cool because, you know, I got my teacher. I'm doing this with my teacher, and the student has the young man who had sex with his teacher. Had videos of them having sexual relationship. I mean, it was just, it's stupid. But in his mind, this is okay. In his mind, he's like, he's the top alpha dog in the school because he's having a relationship with his teacher. So other kids, other male kids are like, "Oh, that's cool, man. You're the man." But what he fails to realize and what she fails to realize is that you're taking the innocence away from this young man. Okay, this young man becomes he has a sexual relationship with you or with that person, gets her pregnant, right? And now this kid is 15. Now at 15 he becomes a father. A child having a child. So how is this child going to provide for you? How is this child supposed to provide for your child or for that person's child? Can't, right? Can't provide. Because it's only 15 years old. It's only 15 years old. What's a 15-year-old going to do? How is he going to support you? How's he going to support the baby? Never mind the woman. How's that child going to support that child? Okay, how is he? You know, so by the time this kid's this kid's child is 15, this man is 30. When he's 18, he's what, 33. Life hasn't even begun for this child, but yet then again, this woman predator decides to have a sexual relationship in her warped little mind that it is. He thinks it's cool to have this sexual relationship with a 15-year-old, not knowing that this can traumatize that child. And that child not knowing that this can traumatize, because this would change his view on women. This would change his view on how he sees life itself. You know, he may say to himself, "Women are easy," and he'll take part of advantage of that person. You know, for whatever the case may be. But it's a shame that this woman, knowing to 41 years old, takes advantage of a 15-year-old. Because a 15-year-old doesn't have the mind of an adult. So the 15-year-old is going to say, like I said earlier on, going to say, "Okay, fine, this is cool," right? But this 41-year-old should say to herself, "I'm going to do this because number one, it's morally wrong." Okay, it's morally wrong, and number two, it's just a child. I'm having sex with a child. You know, it's the same way when a man has sex with a child. You're having sex with a child. You know, and no matter what the child says, or you know, I'm 15 years old, I can do whatever I want to. No, you can't. You know, by law, a 15-year-old cannot consent to sex in any state. I guess in any state, but some states are different. I know here in North Carolina, now to get married, you don't have to. You don't need your parents' consent. You have to be, I think, 16 years old or 14 years old. You don't need your parents' consent. They just passed that law a few months ago. So that's even another thing. Why would you, you know, before it was your parents have to give you consent or you become emancipated. So now you don't, if you're 16, I think it's 14, but if you know, even if you're 14 or 16, or that child, that person is not, it's not in their right mind to consent to sex. It's not in their right mind to consent to marriage. You know, the law is weird, bro. To be honest with you. And so we have to look at these women predators, and we have to start making account that there are women predators out there that exist. That's why when I had my daughter, I never let my daughter sit in anyone's lap. I never did none of my father's lap, none of my brother's lap, none of that, because I don't know. He's my brother, he's my father, but I don't know what what goes through their mind. So to avoid a conflict, I never did it. When I was a single dad, I never brought a girl over to my house. I had my daughter. I raised my daughter from 10 months old until she was 18. She's 20 now. And I was married. My ex-wife cheated on me. Decided to go with this guy, and she left me. And she left me with our daughter. Well, she didn't leave me with our daughter. What happened was that she had met this guy through the internet. At that time in Puerto Rico, they were using walkie-talkies. Excuse me, and that's how they chat. So she met this guy one time. That the first day that she met him, she decided to leave with him. She said, "I'm going to take my daughter with me." I said, "No, you're not." I said, "You can go with him if you want to. That's your choice. But you're not taking my daughter with you. She's only 10 months old. I don't know what he is. I don't know if he's a perv. I don't know that." You know, to be honest with you, I wouldn't have mind if she took, you know, if she didn't want to be with me, and she decided to go on her own. And I wouldn't mind her being with, she's saying, "Well, I want to take our daughter with me." I wouldn't mind that because I know that a child needs a mother. So I know that. So I wouldn't take that away from her. I wouldn't take that away from my daughter either, to have the mother-daughter bond. But that wasn't the case, and I was not going to allow her to take my daughter 10 months old, not knowing anything about this guy. So I raised my daughter on my own, and I wasn't strict. I'm a proactive dad. Gave her liberty, never told anything about any religion, never told anything about any politics. I let all those things her to come on her own. So I can imagine the frustration. You know, as a parent, you know, you say to yourself, this person took advantage of my child. Regardless of whether it's a 15-year-old boy having sex with another woman, that's neither here or there. But you know, the ramifications that does to the child's psychological view, and the ramification of that child having a child in itself. So when we look at predators, let's not just look at men predators. Look at women predators too. You know, you're seeing that more and more every day, where the women are, especially in the teacher business, in the education business, where teachers are having sex, because you see a lot male teachers having sex with their students, with their female students, but you don't see that much as females with males, because I don't know whether it's not put in the news, what it can be, but it's becoming more and more of a thing, right? And you see women having sexual relations with young boys, with being married. It doesn't have to be a teacher, being married and getting pregnant. I mean, it's just a shame that a woman, I mean, and when I say woman, you can also put a man to it if you want to add to it, has to go to those extremes to have a sexual relationship with a young boy, with a 15-year-old or 14-year-old or 13-year-old or 16-year-old that does not have the capacity to make decisions, correct, coherent decisions on his own. All right? It's a shame. It really is. With so many men out there, you know, that's your fantasy, and you just get yourself a boy toy, you know, 21 years old, say, yo, dress up like whatever it is. If that's your fantasy, right? And if you're gonna cheat on your husband, just leave your husband. You know, I'm gonna do a story one day on cheating, because I think it's so ludicrous that when a man cheats on a woman cheats on a man, the excuses that they give, you weren't there, this, and that, you know. I, for one, don't believe in cheating. I, for one, if I'm going to cheat on someone, I just let that person go. That's not my style. I never cheated on a woman before. I'm not saying that because I'm doing the video, but it's the truth. I haven't had many girlfriends because when I was shot, I could fuck, and number two, it was just, you know, I was just shy. But when I did, I never cheated on them, because I never cheated on them, and I'm not a jealous and I'm not a jealous person. I never cheated on them because there's no reason to. I just let you go, and I'm not jealous because I don't get jealous, because I've learned through life that if a woman's going to cheat on you, she's going to cheat on you regardless. So I'm not going to put any parameters in a relationship. I'm not going to say you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm going to lock you here. You do what you want to do. And as far as you can go with your friends, you can go to clubs, you can do whatever, you know, whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, whatever the decision you make, that's your choice. You know, I'm not going to stand here and mope. If she told me I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to do none of that. None of that's going to happen. That happened when I was younger. But as you get older, you get wiser. So you learn from those mistakes. And I refuse to go to that. So if she cheats on me, I just bounce. I just keep on going. Life is too short to be moping about one person. So anyway, so with that being said, so if that's the fantasy of this woman, then she should fulfill that. She should fulfill that somewhere else. Like I said, get yourself a little boy toy. You know, but it is a shame that we don't see women as predators when there are women out there who are predators, who prey on young boys. And maybe that's something that we should take a look at. You know, because it's, you know, sometimes it's okay that you say, okay, I'm gonna leave him with her because she's a woman, she's not gonna do anything. But you never know. You never know. So with that being said, I want to apologize for yesterday's live. I didn't do the live yesterday, so I do apologize for that. I had to do something else. But we'll do a live tonight. All right, so peace.